Every day, you generate over 2.5 quintillion bytes of data. Your location, your searches, your purchases, your conversations, all collected, analyzed, and stored. In a world where nearly everything is tracked, one question becomes increasingly urgent. Is privacy becoming a luxury we can no longer afford? Welcome to TechEthica, where we explore the complex relationship between technology and ethics. Privacy hasn't always meant what it does today. Throughout history, its definition has evolved alongside society and technology. From physical seclusion in ancient times to legal protections in the modern era, our concept of privacy continues to transform. Today, we live in an unprecedented age of data collection. Every click, tap, and voice command feeds into vast systems designed to understand, predict, and influence our behavior. In this video, we'll explore how privacy has evolved, why your data is so valuable, and the complex trade-offs we make between convenience and control in our digital lives. Privacy, as we understand it today, is relatively new. In ancient societies, most people lived in communal spaces with little physical separation. Privacy was a luxury available primarily to the wealthy. The concept of privacy as a right emerged gradually. In 1890, American lawyers Samuel Warren and Louis Brandeis published The Right to Privacy, defining it as the right to be let alone, a response to new technologies like photography and newspapers that could intrude on personal life. Privacy isn't universal. Different cultures value and define it differently. In some societies, community transparency is valued over individual privacy. In others, personal information is carefully guarded. As technology evolved, so did privacy concerns. Telephones raised questions about wiretapping. Television brought cameras into public spaces. Computers enabled the collection and storage of personal data at an unprecedented scale. But nothing has transformed privacy like the internet. What began as an anonymous space has become a sophisticated surveillance system that tracks our digital and physical lives in minute detail. Let's look at how data collection actually works. When you use your smartphone, you're interacting with multiple data collection systems simultaneously. Your device itself collects data through sensors, location via GPS, movement via accelerometers, and even health data through specialized sensors. Operating systems like iOS and Android gather information about how you use your device. Apps collect their data, often far more than needed for their core functions. A simple flashlight app might request access to your contacts, photos, and location. Websites use cookies and other tracking technologies to follow you across the internet. The average website includes 23 third-party trackers, creating a detailed profile of your browsing habits. This information flows to data brokers, companies that aggregate and sell personal data. A single data broker might have up to 5,000 data points on each individual, from income and family status to political leanings and health concerns. Advanced AI systems analyze this data to predict your behavior, preferences, and vulnerabilities. These predictions are then used for targeted advertising, product development, and increasingly, decision-making that affects your life opportunities. Most concerning is what you can't see, the invisible infrastructure collecting data without your knowledge or consent. From facial recognition in public spaces to voice assistants that may listen even when not activated, surveillance has become ambient and persistent. Why is all this data being collected? Simply put, it's extremely valuable. The global data economy is worth over $3 trillion, making personal information one of the world's most valuable commodities. The primary business model of the internet is targeted advertising. By knowing your preferences, companies can show you ads you're more likely to respond to, dramatically increasing their effectiveness. But data's value goes beyond ads. Predictive analytics helps companies anticipate market trends, optimize operations, and develop new products based on observed behaviors rather than stated preferences. Governments also value this data for security, law enforcement, and increasingly, social control. Some nations have implemented comprehensive surveillance systems that track citizens' activities and assign social scores that determine access to services and opportunities. Not all uses are problematic. Aggregated data can advance medical research, improve city planning, and help address social challenges. The same information that can be used to manipulate can also be used to heal and improve. The fundamental issue is asymmetry. While your data may seem worthless to you, its aggregate value to companies is enormous. You're giving away something valuable in exchange for services that cost far less to provide than the data is worth. Despite expressing privacy concerns, most people readily trade personal information for convenience, a phenomenon known as the privacy paradox. We say we value privacy, but our actions suggest otherwise. This isn't irrational. Privacy costs are abstract and delayed, while the benefits of sharing data are immediate and tangible. Getting personalized recommendations now feels more valuable than preventing some potential future harm. Regulations are trying to address this imbalance. The European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, and California's Consumer Privacy Act give individuals more control over their data, but these laws are still catching up to technological reality. Meanwhile, surveillance capabilities continue to advance. Brain-computer interfaces could potentially monitor thoughts. Emotional recognition aims to detect feelings from facial expressions. DNA databases could predict health outcomes and behaviors based on genetic information. Let's consider 3 possible futures for privacy. In the transparent society scenario, privacy as we know it largely disappears, but surveillance becomes reciprocal. Ordinary citizens can monitor the powerful just as easily as they're monitored. This creates a new kind of accountability, but fundamentally transforms social norms. In the privacy by design scenario, technology evolves to protect personal information by default. Data minimization, local processing, and user control become standard. Privacy becomes a competitive advantage rather than an obstacle to innovation. In the privacy as privilege scenario, meaningful privacy becomes available only to those who can afford it, creating a new dimension of inequality. Most people trade their data for essential services, while the wealthy maintain control over their personal information. Privacy isn't just about hiding information, it's about maintaining autonomy in a world of powerful prediction algorithms and influence systems. The choices we make today, both individually and collectively, will shape whether privacy remains a fundamental right or becomes an outdated concept. There are steps you can take to protect your privacy using privacy-focused tools, adjusting settings, and being mindful about what you share. But the most important changes will happen at the systemic level through regulation, corporate accountability, and technological innovation. What do you think? Which privacy trade-offs do you find acceptable? And which ones cross the line? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Next time on TechEthica, we'll explore how algorithms can perpetuate and amplify human biases and what that means for justice and equality in an automated world. Subscribe to join us on this journey exploring the ethical dimensions of technology. Thanks for watching.